Why do teachers loan? What do teachers do? What do teachers get from assessment and evaluation? It's funny because I typed in how do teachers, but Google added much. So those are Google generated questions. This is the answering Google questions about teachers. It's going to be a sit down vlog because wala lang. Wala akong nothing to do. Okay, so let's get down to it. The first question I searched was, what do teachers? And here are the questions which Google generated. What do teachers do? So that's a very broad question, but teachers do lesson plans, we do assessments, we do classroom management, and we do ancillary job. For example, if you're assigned as the guidance designate or the ICT coordinator or the sports coordinator of the school, we do coaching in some events. I'm speaking in behalf of the public school teachers, by the way, here in the Philippines. If you ask me personally, it can be summed up in my alma mater's mantra, and that is, we teach minds, touch hearts, and transform lives. Next, what do teachers assess? So we assess student performance. And we also assess ourselves, our performance at the end of the year, since we have our RTMS tool, which should and ideally be able to give us a hindsight and to give our supervisors a hindsight of how we are doing inside the classroom professionally. So we assess students' performance, and we also assess our performance as teachers at the end of the school year. What do teachers teach? Well, that depends on the subject that you're specializing in. Teachers don't just teach what's in the book. So most of teachers teach students about what to do when dogs bark. So basically, teachers can teach anything. So be proud if you're a teacher. Okay? You are not just a teacher. You are a teacher. Okay? What do teachers get from assessment and evaluation? So we get results. We get a picture of how our students are doing, if they are getting what they're supposed to get from the lesson, if they understand what they're supposed to understand. But yeah, so that is basically what we get from assessment and evaluation. What do teachers need to improve on? Well, that, I think this should be a personal question. But basically, as a teacher, as a professional, we need to improve on our professional selves. We need to grow professionally. So most of the teachers enroll themselves in graduate schools or in graduate studies. Teachers also submit themselves to trainings and seminars because we have to improve our strategies, our techniques, our pedagogies, and our skills, of course, and knowledge, because we can never give what we do not have. We can never fake that. So yeah, that is what we improve on. What do teachers do for students? I think the better question is, what don't teachers do for the students? I think that's there's a fewer answer to that. Agree? Like if you agree, teachers. What do teachers hope for their students? Well, we hope for the best for our students. You may tell me right now that you have teachers who seem to not really care about you or about their jobs, but I would like to believe that at the end of the day, deep inside the heart of that teacher and of every teacher, we just really want and hope what is the best for every student that we get to take care and we get to teach. It's just really hoping for the best for every student, no matter how hard-headed, no matter how mischievous you are, no matter how a hard time you've given your teacher. You know, at the end of the day, we just hope for the best for all our students. What do teachers call students in Japan? So I needed to research this one. since I have not been in Japan. So Japanese teachers usually call their students by their family name. It's an interesting question, right? So that's the last question which Google generated for the question, what do teachers ... The next question I searched was how. How do teachers? So the first question Google generated was how. I noticed Google added. Sorry, how do I show you this one? Oh, I think I should give me a second. It's funny because I typed in how do teachers, but Google added much. So those are Google generated questions. So I'm gonna answer them because that is what Google generated for me. So how much do teachers make? So in the Philippines, teachers are paid according to salary grades. So a teacher 1, those are newly hired teachers, enter the service in salary grade 11. And currently, let me check my source. The entry level or the teacher 1 position has a basic salary as of January 2020, 22,829. So that is how much teachers, public school teachers in the Philippines earn. And we do receive what we call the acapera. It's like a cost of living allowance, if I'm not mistaken. Just comment down below if I got it wrong. But we do receive on top of our salary an additional 2,000 pesos for us here in Silay City. But I think that acapera differs from city to city because it depends on how big the city is. So, but yeah, teacher 1 positions are in 22,829. I know that may sound too much, but believe me, let's just put it this way. It's very hard to explain where teachers' salary go if you're not there. If you are not in our shoes. Because even we ourselves, we get surprised of how much we spend for the classroom, for activities, for programs, for resources. So it's really hard to explain and to give people who are whining about how big we are already paid, yet most teachers are still crying for a salary hike, and we are still pleading the government to see that we are underpaid. Because once you are in our shoes, that's the only time you will really understand why we feel and why we know that we are underpaid. So, yeah. But for private school teachers here, at least in our province or in our district, some small public or private schools entry level would be at 9,000 a month, and those which are a bit bigger give their newly hired teachers 11,000. So it really depends on the type of private school and how big or how long it has been in business. So the other questions are basically how much do teachers get paid, how much do teachers earn, how much do teachers make in Texas. Well, I don't know how much, but yeah, you can research that. How much do teachers make an hour? I'm not sure how much we make an hour. I think we should do a math on that. Maybe we can just do a math on that. We are required to render 40 hours every month. Or no, every week rather. Every week. So yeah, do the math. I'm an English major. How much do teachers make in Ontario, in Florida? So I believe it's 10 times what we earn here in the Philippines. So that is it for how do teachers. Now let's go to why. So the next question I searched was, why do teachers? And the first question Google generated, I was a bit perplexed with this question. Why do teachers need social standards? Doesn't everybody need a social standard? I mean, we all have standards. So why do teachers need social standards? Because we're humans, you know. I guess that's it. And everybody has standards. Why do teachers loan? That's the second question Google generated. You know, this is not for everybody. Honestly, when I entered, or before entering the public school, I told myself I would never loan. I would never loan, because I've heard heartbreaking stories about teachers who just get stuck with their loans all their lives, you know. They couldn't even retire at 60 because they still need to pay some loans. So I told myself that I wouldn't loan at all. But when I was there, you know, certain needs arise, and it's gonna amaze you, because for most teachers, especially for the teachers I know, the money they loan is not for themselves. Trust me. The money that teachers loan are not for themselves, are not for ourselves. You know, I'm not trying to make it sound like teachers are the most noble and selfless people in the entire world, but for what I've seen, for the teachers I've met, and the stories I've heard and seen, those loans don't go to their pockets, you know. Most of the teachers loan for their families, for health emergencies, to build a home for their family, to buy a house and lot, or to sustain the education of their younger siblings. It's really not for themselves, you know. I mean, there are teachers who loan for leisure, and that is everybody's right. That is not something that, or that is not illegal to loan money for leisure, for travel, because we all deserve that. And given how hard teachers work, you know, they deserve that. We deserve that. But for most instances, teachers loan for other people, and most of the time it's for their families. So kudos to all the teachers, to all my co-teachers. Why do teachers assess students? Because we need to know. We need to know where our students are at, if our teaching strategies are effective, or if we need to do a little tweaking to make them understand the lesson more, or they need extra help. So we need to assess them. Without assessment, we will be completely blind. So assessments become our unblinding. It clears our vision, you know. So we assess students because we need to see clearly. So why do teachers use teaching aid? Imagine eating rice alone. No matter how hungry you are, you can eat that rice and it's gonna taste so delicious for the first time. But when you keep eating rice on its own without any viand or without any variety, it's just gonna taste so plain, and you're just gonna stop wanting it, right? So it's the same thing with learning. So teaching aids allow us, or it helps us to get the attention of the students more, or to make the teaching process more interactive or more interesting for our students, you know. So yeah, we use teaching aids. Some still lean towards the traditional teaching aids, and while most are also, you know, trying to adapt the new trend of teaching aids or supplementary materials. Why do teachers teach? It's a calling. This one's a cute question. Why do teachers respect students? Because respect begets respect. If we teachers, we want to be respected, we should show the same respect to our students, because they too are human beings. They may be our students, we may be their teacher, but at the end of the day, we're all humans and we all want to be respected and we all deserve to be respected. So, respect begets respect. If you want to be respected, respect them. Why did this one's sad. This is a sad question. Why do teachers humiliate students? This is a sad reality. I personally, I am a very playful teacher inside the classroom. So I sometimes give nicknames to my students. I say jokes or crack jokes at them, about them. But it's not to humiliate them. But unfortunately, there are some teachers who do humiliate students. And as to why they do it, I don't know. But I presume that maybe one, they are not aware of it. Maybe they thought it was completely, I'm at a loss for words. Maybe they thought it was harmless. For them it was harmless, for them it was okay, but for the students or for those who heard it, it was already humiliating or embarrassing. And then that's where the CPC comes in. So, but I really do hope that teachers don't do it in purpose. Why do teachers need to know about assessment? So as I said earlier, assessment clears our vision. So as to why we need to do assessment, it's again, we need to see and to really see what's going on inside the classroom, what's going on with the students, how are they coping with our lessons. And assessment allows us to see that. So we need to know about assessment. So that is it for the whys. Now we go to when. Where do teachers apply for jobs? Where do teachers shop for clothes? Can teachers have tattoos? Can teachers dye their hair? Should students grade their teachers? Should teachers be friends with their students? Should teachers and students be friends on Facebook?